Hey, everybody. We're in Germany today, but we're going to talk about Romania, one of the countries we really liked visiting. Great cost of living. It's such a diverse area between having some mountains and sea coast on the Black Sea. And importantly, there's been some big changes since last time we spoke with our residency expert. They've gone to Schengen. So that means that they're part of the group of 29 countries in Europe that now, as Americans, if you go to Europe, you have to consider them as one country. So we can stay 90 days every 180 days without any kind of residency in the Schengen zone, but then you have to leave. And before you used to look at Romania as its own 90 days, and you can go there and spend 90 days every 180 without having residency, and then you can go somewhere else into the Schengen zone. But now they're using the same time. So that's a negative for some, a positive for others. So if you have residency in Romania, now that would mean you would actually have a Schengen residency. But have the rules gotten harder now to get residency since then? We've got our expert here to talk about it. So, Remus, welcome back.
Hello, Warren. Hello, Julie. Nice to see you guys. Indeed, before when we've done our last video, we were just about to enter the Schengen area, and all the questions and answers were all above. I mean, we didn't know what's gonna happen, even if it's going to change something for US citizens, because Romania and the US, including Canada and Japan, we have a very high esteem, to say so, towards Americans, Canadians, Japanese, and you can come to Romania for a long-term stay without obtaining a visa. So practically, if you want to come and stay in Romania, you don't need that visa. By joining the Schengen area, we thought that, okay, maybe this agreement will interfere with the Schengen treaty, and you cannot come to Romania and you'll need the visa. And by the fact that you don't need the visa, we have some perks. For example, there's a residency permit for businesses. Technically, you can come to Romania, open a business, and you are entitled, if you want to stay more than 90 days, to get your residency permit. This is something that no other countries have, and many Americans are benefiting from this. We have clients that are on this program, and we thought that, oh, look, everybody has to go back, but no. Even new Americans that are coming to Romania, they are going to get the same benefits. You can still incorporate the business, and you can come to Romania and stay in Romania.
When you have a long-term stay, you just mentioned that Americans, Japanese can come and have a long-term stay in Romania. What is the length of time that somebody can stay in a long-term stay, and what is required there?
So for long-term stay, technically you have a residence permit. You can stay as long as you want. And if you stay for 5 years straight without leaving the Romanian soil for more than 10 months in the 5 years, you can go to permanent residency. And permanent residency, to make an association, would be something like a green card. I know in the United States you have the visa, and usually the visa is issued for the whole duration of your stay until you get the green card. In the European Union, the visa is limited. Even if you get a long-term visa, it's issued for 90 days within 180 days. And that visa, when it's extended by a residency permit. So we have short-term residency permits, and then you have the long-term residency permit. And the long-term residency permit is after 5 years, and that's the one that's similar to a green card.
So in order to get a renewal, say you get the residency permit the first year, in order to get that next renewal for the following year, how many months must you remain in Romania to be eligible for that?
At the moment, there is no minimum. The only residency permit that has a minimum stay is the one for family reunification. So, for example, if a US citizen is married with a Romanian citizen, they must stay 6 months per year in Romania in order to maintain their residency permit. Sincerely, I don't know of any cases in which it was retracted, where somebody stays with a computer and says, oh, you were 6 months out of the country, we will cancel your residency permit. However, when you go for the renewal, they are going to look at your stay, and then they will ask you, okay, why did you stay so much out of Romania and not in Romania? And if you have a job outside of Romania, you are employed somewhere outside, it's no problem. They will extend your stay. So there are some exceptions. But the idea is that if you're in Romania, for example, for religious purposes, for volunteering, with a business, any type of residency permit except family reunification, you can stay as long as you want in Romania and it will be renewed.
Julie and I, we spent time in Brajov and Sibiu and several different places that we could definitely see spending, 8, 9 months a year there and being very, very happy. If we wanted to go to Romania, and I'll use us as an example because we represent many of our viewers, we're early retirees, we're self-sufficient monetarily, and we would like to say, can we go to Romania, buy a home, stay there as we wish, and what are our options to come in and stay in Romania?
As early retirees, so I just make a bit of correction to our previous videos. I know I spoke about the retiree residency permit. It was a residency permit. It was forcing the immigration office to issue a residency permit. And we had many of your viewers coming to us and asking us, hey, we want to be retired in Romania. We have money, we have everything. We want to move to Romania and stay here. So we had discussions with different immigration offices, and the idea is that now that we joined the Schengen area, they don't want to exploit that part any longer. So they are asking, even if you're a retiree and coming to Romania, you need to find a purpose for staying here long term, at least until you have the permanent residency permit. So that would be the best option for anybody. If you've been involved in church activities, you can contact a local church.
Does this count for people under the retirement age, or for both of any age? Because when we're talking early
it's
retirees,
for both at any age.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's for both, even before retirement age, even after retirement age. The only thing, once you are after the retirement age, if you go with documents that are not crisp, to say so, that they are not the proper way, they will just close an eye and just sign and give you the residency permit. That was how it was presented. They want to give you a residency permit after you're retired, but so we have a special purpose. It's staying in Romania for purposes that do not infringe the Romanian law. Technically, from my point of view, that's also retirement, but they don't want to exploit that because they are doing some reporting to the European authorities, and they don't want to see that, oh, okay, we have 5% of our residency permits for other purposes. What are those? And they cannot put their retirees. So practically, you'll need to find a purpose when coming to Romania. The one with the church that I was mentioning earlier, it's the best way if you're not married with a Romanian citizen, because you have a 5-year residency permit. So technically you get a 5-year residency permit, you extend it once, and then you go for permanent residency. All the other residency permits are going to be for 1 year renewable. So other residency permits that we had for US citizens are for medical treatment. But again, for medical treatment, you must find a clinic which states that you have an illness and you are treated by a doctor that is in that clinic. And the one that many Americans come and initially they are reluctant, but at the end they love it, is a residency permit for business activities. So practically you open your own business. You are the director, the associate of your own business. And when you open the business, how long the business stays in power, whatever you do with that business, it's your decision. You can keep the business running. When you want to leave Romania, you close the business down, you leave Romania and move to another country. It will be all your decision. You don't need a church, you don't need a doctor. It's all going to be based on your free will. So technically, you sponsor your own residency permit. That's the high perk. The downside of this residency permit is that, one, you have the business. In Romania, you need an accountant, so you have a monthly fee to pay to the accountant. Don't think that is going to be a lot of money. It can be around 50 euro per month or even less. We had an offer quite recently for a client, somewhere around 33 euro per month, VAT included. And as mentioned earlier, you need economic activity. So somewhere around 2,000 euro per year income on the company. You can have a service that is provided, consulting service, even for a family member or somebody close. And that is your economic activity. You take the money through the business. You pay the accountant, you pay for the residency renewal. So technically the income that you are getting is going to be deducted. And at the end of the year, everything is more or less balanced, to say so. Oh, and one more thing regarding the renewal procedure. Regardless of the residency permits, be aware that starting with the second year, you need state health insurance, which is 450 euro per year, starting with 2024.
Okay, so if somebody opens a company, if they want to come in there and they're just going to say they're going to be a consultant to provide financial guidance to whoever their clients are. Maybe it's their own kids. So say, okay, my son needs my advice, so I'm going to get paid 2,000 a year from my son to provide him consulting services, and that's the company, and that's the entire income. Would that float as a company to get residency?
No problem.
With the 2,000 euros, say that we have the company, we're paying the 2,000 euros for this. What are the taxes that you should be subjected to pay on that 2,000 euros?
If we go in the taxes, be aware that in Romania, for Romanian companies, we have two tax systems. We have a 16% on profits. So practically the 2,000 euro that you are going to pay into the company, you are going to pay 16% to the Romanian state, but of the profits. You'll have expenses, and those will balance out in the future. Both are the same type of companies. It's an LLC. We also have a 1% or 3% tax on revenue. Be aware that in order to qualify for the 1%, 3%, there are 4 conditions according to the Romanian law. You must have maximum 20% from consulting. So if you incorporate a business that is doing only consulting, you do not qualify. You need to do marketing services, for example, for your son or for somebody that is abroad. You must have only one company. The maximum income on that company should be no more than 500,000 euros, so €500,000. And you need to have one full-time employee. The trick here is that the one full-time employee, you need to pay the minimum wage for that employee. And the minimum wage in Romania at the moment is 750 euro. Unfortunately, Romania is not like the US. We tax from when you start working. So even if you are doing 750 euro per month, we tax everything, and that is somewhere around 43% of the total salary. It includes health insurance, taxes, and social security. Social security, like in the US, is the pension system. But given that you are paying 43% out of the 750, is gonna be a lot per month to pay. So putting it in a nutshell, if you're not doing more than 20,000 euro or 30,000 euro per year, it doesn't make sense to go on the micro enterprise regime, and it's better to stick with the 16% on profits.
Okay, so yeah, so just to be clear for the viewers that they're not getting it muddled between the two, you have the one where you can just do, and correct me if I'm wrong too, that you can do the smaller company where you're making 2,000, 3,000 euros, do the consulting, not the micro enterprise scheme. And that one would suffice for doing a company. You pay 16% on the profit, or you can go and do the micro enterprise scheme, and then that's going to cost a higher potential tax threshold because you have to have one full-time employee. Is that correct?
Exactly. That's why you need to know from the beginning what will be your income. If your income is under 30,000 per year, just stick with the 16% on profits. If you are moving from the US, you are still active, you want to move everything from the US to Romania and have the tax system from Romania, you just go with the micro enterprise from the beginning and you have 1 or 3% on the revenue. But be aware that if you're moving a lot of money into the company, when you take out the money and you make it your personal money, you have a dividend tax. At the moment, the dividend tax is 8%. And we also have health insurance. As mentioned earlier, the minimum contribution for the health insurance is 450 euro for 1 year. However, depending on your dividend income, there are 3 thresholds. One is at 4,500 euro. One is at 9,000 euro and one is at 18,000 euro. Once you surpass each of these thresholds, you pay 10% of the threshold. So practically you'll be paying 450 euro, 900 euro or 1,800 euro once you surpass that threshold. Again, there are tricks. For example, you have the money in the company. You can, in the first year, not pay yourself any dividends because you are the owner of the company and you know when you want the dividends to be paid out. And you can put the income from 2 years to be paid out only in 1 year. And on the dividends, we don't have any limit. So practically in 1 year, you can pay yourself a 1 million euro dividend and you just pay 8% plus 1,800 euro.
So my wife is going to be with me if I did a company. Does she have to have her own company or she can come as a dependent? And are there limitations or exclusions on dependents?
What we've done until now, technically you can take your wife as a dependent, but you'll need your marriage license from the US with apostille. What we've done until now, we put both spouses within one company and we submitted the residency renewal for the whole family. We even had at one point a family of 5 and 2 of the children were adults. You don't need multiple companies, just one company that you service, and that company will provide residency permits for the whole family.
Okay, so if my 26-year-old son and his wife wanted to come and live with us in Romania, if I had a company, he would be able to then join us.
Yes.
Incredible.
I know going on to taxes, that the United States, we have so many people that want to know about taxation because Europe can be pretty expensive with taxation. So what taxes are assessed in Romania on foreigners that are staying more than 183 days a year?
And I know the United States may be different because of the double taxation treaty. So I guess maybe this is a 2-part answer, one about Americans, one about your maybe other countries.
People are going to want to know about dividends, 401k, Social Security and pensions, rental income, capital gains for selling real estate in other areas. And then are there death taxes, wealth taxes, and inheritance taxes? We're hearing this all the time.
Oh my God, we need to take them one by one. So it depends on the income that you have. Salaries, rentals, and pensions, they are all going to be taxed in this country where you have them from. Now, we can have a discussion if a 401k, Roth IRA are pensions, but from my point of view, they are pensions. It would be a long stretch for the Romanian state to say, oh no, those are not pensions, they are investments. And even if they would be investments, the idea is that US having global taxation, you are going to pay your taxes in the United States first. So as long as you are paying over 10% in the United States as taxes, you are not going to pay anything in Romania for that income. That is the bracket in Romania, 10% usually. For dividends, it's lower, it's 8%. And if you're going to receive dividends in the United States, and for some reasons, those dividends are not taxed there, you are going to pay just 8% in Romania.
Okay. And as an investor, I will tell you that typically you're going to spend more than 8% towards your dividend taxes in America. So if you're pulling out 8% dividends or pulling out dividends from your stock brokerage account to sustain yourself with, you're probably not paying tax to Romania by the time you file your taxes in the US.
Exactly. Usually from what I've seen with other clients that are from the US, they usually pay in Romania exactly what they are making in Romania, if they are making anything, plus the health insurance of 450 euro per year, and that's about it. Be aware that the health insurance, technically, it's personal, so if there are two spouses, they will need to pay two health insurances in Romania in order to stay.
And to understand the health insurance, because in America, what you're saying for the cost of a year for two is typically more than a cost for one person for 1 month. So when you're looking at 450 for the year per person, that's a zero deductible insurance, able to use the Romania facilities, no out-of-pocket costs except for maybe some strange medications.
Yes, that's correct. Usually the medication is the one that we pay out of pocket. There are some certain medication that, I don't know, the state deducts 1 euro and it actually costs 2 euro. So you'll pay out of pocket 1 euro. However, there are certain things that you need to take into consideration. If you're going into a public hospital, so how the Romanian system works, to take it from the beginning, you pay the 450 euro, you are going to be registered as health insured in Romania. And for being registered as health insured in Romania, you'll need to be allocated a GP. So first you pay the health insurance, you got registered, you get a general practitioner. We call the general practitioners a family doctor. The family doctor can issue you referrals. For example, I don't know. I had the last time I had something that they found in my nose, and I got referred to a specialist. The specialist, I went. He saw me. He referred me to make CT scan. He got me a referral for a CT scan. I paid nothing for the CT scan. However, there are big clinics which have an allocated budget, and if they have many referrals for their clinic and they have many patients, they can tell you that, look, we cannot take you this month, come again next month. But that would be your case to go from clinic to clinic, not to go personally. Just call them, hey, I have this referral for this. Do you have budget? And they might say yes or no. For my case personally, I went through 3 clinics and the fourth one said, yeah, we have budget, please come. I went there, they've done the CT. I went back to the doctor. He reviewed and he said, oh, this could be a case of surgery. I went to the public hospital, to a doctor from the public hospital who is doing surgery, and he's done the surgery, and it didn't cost me anything.
Nice.
Wow.
So is there even a need to have a secondary private insurance if you're in Romania?
It depends on your comfort level. If you think that, from my point of view, if you want private health insurance, it would be for major cases. But even there, when you go to the fine line or of the health insurance. It depends what they cover and what they do not cover. They might not cover, for example, if you have cancer, God forbids. It might be that they take care of surgery or hospital care, but they don't take care of medication. And in cancer, the medication is the one that costs a lot. So you need to look at the fine print of the health insurance. Me personally, in Romania, I don't have private health insurance, but again, it depends on your comfort level, what you know that you need and you need to take care of. But that's about how I see it at the moment.
All right, and I know we have a few additional questions, especially with healthcare. So the national healthcare you said you paid in the second year. So the first year, I assume you come with private health insurance.
When you come to Romania, we do a private health insurance, which is for a limited period of time until you get your residency permit. There are very few clients which come at the beginning of the year. So if you know you're in good healthcare condition, we can wait until the second year to get your health insurance. If you want to get it from the first year, once you got your residency permit, we can enroll you in the healthcare system and you pay the health insurance. The question now is, will you pay for the whole year or do you pay only for the months that you are allocated? Both answers are correct. You can just pay for part of the year, but usually depends when the client comes. We usually, if it's not a burden under budget, we pay for the whole year so they have no question asked. We just pay everything and they get a health insurance. If you come in September and you want the health insurance from September, we can do it from September without an issue.
And I know we've talked about the fact that you can get a company started. Do you need to do anything if you're a United States citizen, for example? A lot of countries make you go and get a long-term visa D in your country. Is that necessary before starting this corporation, or can you do all of this in Romania?
No, that's the good part about Romania. We don't request any visas from the United States. So you just, what we do with our clients is that we tell them from the beginning, tell us 3 weeks before you come to Romania that, hey, look, I'm coming to Romania. We have a client information form. We need a copy of their passports. And when you come to Romania, you enter Romania, you already have the company incorporated. The next steps are for you to speak with an accountant, and you can speak with that accountant from when you are in the United States, so you know who you chose as your accountant. When you come to Romania, you appoint the accountant, you open the bank account, and you need to find a long-term rental. You cannot go with Airbnbs, you cannot go with Booking, you need a long-term rental. Once you got that long-term rental, we know the address, we file for an appointment with the immigration office, and you need to wait for your appointment. Once the appointment is done, you go there, they will take a picture of you, and you need to wait another 30 days for the residency card to be issued. Once the residency card is in your hand, you will have 1 year of staying in Romania without any problem.
And that gives you, if you wanted to go spend 90 days in another Schengen country during that residency, are you allowed to do that?
Yes.
Wow.
So no minimum stay required in Romania, really, once you have your access. You have to have your 1 year rental, however, and that's it gives you Schengen access, and you don't have to go back to the States to do the visa D. You have to pay minimum amount of tax on a potential 2,000 euro income if you set up a company. So it sounds like it's a pretty simple process potentially. Am I oversimplifying it, or you know, if Julie and I wanted to jump in head first, is that what it would take? Setting up the account, 2,000 euros of income, doing the insurance, and having the rental agreement.
Sometimes I make the procedure seem simple. I'm sorry for that. We've been doing this for quite a while. I even said to somebody who was married to a Romanian, oh, just go to the immigration office, it's simple. And somebody answered, I was at the immigration office with my wife, a lawyer, and the translator, and we barely done the procedure in a few hours. So it depends. I've been doing this for quite a long time. I know the whole process, how it should look and what you should do. But yeah, it's straightforward. I mean, you will not have any problems. I know US citizens that are doing the procedure on their own, starting with a certain year. So again, it depends on your tolerance on doing bureaucratic work and so on. But yeah, it's relatively straightforward.
Okay.
Wow.
I think we've got a lot of good information from you, as always, Remus, and I definitely appreciate your time. As a reminder, Julie and I were traveling with our two dogs, trying to see what it's like to live in different countries, sharing information about what it's like or how to live somewhere, specifically like we're sharing with Remus today. If you want to contact Remus, you can feel free to send us an email at warrenjulietravel@gmail.com, and we'll forward you over to Remus. And he's a strategic partner of ours out of Romania, and we enjoy our relationship with you, Remus, and we'll look forward to doing another update with you soon as things develop. But if you want to go to Romania, if Romania is where you want to have your home and now get Schengen residency, you can go through Remus. And please subscribe, give the video a like, and until next time, have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.